Alright, sorry guys, part 4. I was getting into tire fix a flat and so forth. Um, but yeah, you gotta make sure that your tires, if they go flat, that you can stop that tire, that air leak. Um, Obviously you're gonna need air. You want to get a little compressor, go with yourself. You know, um, Probably recommended. If you have the space and you got the money, get yourself a little compressor that you can put in your car and air back up your tire. It's all about expediency, guys. When stuff hits the fan, you don't want to go anywhere that you don't need to go. Um, so again, which goes back. Let me go back to the gas cap. When stuff hits the fan, change your gas cap back out. Okay, like if you're on the road, um, and you're not away from your car, put your stock gas cap back on. Put your non-locking gas cap back on. Why do I say that? Because it's all about expediency. When you need to fill up, you don't want to fiddle around with that damn key. Okay, so when you're away from your car, um, yeah, put the locking gas cap back on. But when you're on the road and you're going from California to Minnesota or whatever, or to the desert, put your regular cap back on before you roll out. Okay? And then when you get wherever you need to go, put your locking gas cap back on. Now, of course, this is only when stuff hits the fan. Regular day life, leave your gas cap on. Yeah, leave your locking gas cap on, of course. But you want to be expedient as possible, which means have your gas cans ready and have your gas cap ready to just get the heck off. Okay? Just ready to unscrew, fill up, roll out. Straight up. Because, you could be fiddling around with that damn key for a long time, sometimes. Another good thing to have, depending on your climate, is some decent windshield wipers. I have two sets of windshield wipers. One's for winter, one's for summer. Cheap ones for summer because you don't use them. And if you leave the good ones on, the ones that you want for winter, I have the $20 for one windshield wipers. Why? Because they last a lot longer and they're better if it ever snows. Again, I'll show you the kind of windshield wipers you want to have, especially in cold weather climates. But you want a cheap set to put on during the summer because the sun will crack the windshield wiper, the rubber. And that's what causes your windshield wipers to fail prematurely. Is during the summer, nobody thinks to take them off. So I recommend you have two sets of windshield wipers. One for summer that you don't need, that you don't really care about. Maybe you want to wipe the bugs off your windshield every now and then. And a set for winter, a good set that will hook you up, get all the snow and rain off your stuff. And if you do that, you may only have to buy windshield wipers once for every 100,000 miles. So every 50,000 miles, you're gonna have to change your wipers. That saves you a lot of money. And if you buy the expensive ones, I've had the ones on my other car for going on 4 years now. The $20 per one. So something to think about if you want, again, to have extras. Hit that up because that'll save you some money and it's better for you. You want to have a spare fluids for everything. You want to have probably a quart or two. I like to buy the 5-gallon jugs of everything. So I've got the 5 quart jugs for everything. I've got 5 quarts of transmission fluid ready to roll. I've got the big thing of brake fluid, other kind of fluid, and I've got a thing of coolant. Keep in mind with your coolant that if you're in a warmer degree climate, you don't need as much. So you want to go 50-50 on your coolant in a warmer climate. In a cooler climate, you want to go, say, 75-25. 75% coolant, 25% water. Okay, because that's going to keep your stuff down and make your radiator run efficiently. Another thing, that heat that I showed you earlier on, in your cold weather climates, that'll stop your stuff from freezing. You use the cheap, that's why I say, if you've got watered down gas in a cold climate, You don't want that because it'll freeze your gas. It really will. So heat will get rid of the freezing. Another thing you might want to have for your automotive stuff, zip ties. Bam. Alright? $8, this big ass thing cost me. Alright? All kinds of sizes. Zip ties. You never know when you're going to need a zip tie. Zip ties are good to have. So is straps. I don't care if you have a car. Get some elastic straps. You know? Obviously you want tie down and stuff if you have a truck or an SUV. But you also want to have them if you have a car. So I guarantee you, when, if there's a shtf situation, you're not going to care what your freaking Mercedes looks like. Alright? You're going to be strapping shit to your damn roof. You're going to strap it to your hood. You're going to strap it to your trunk. Whatever you're going to do, if you need something and you need space, you're going to strap it. And you're not going to care. So buy yourself some straps and tie downs. Zip ties. Zip ties work for a lot of things. Because if you lose a clamp or something, you can use a zip tie. Lots of stuff. So buy your straps and your extremities, and put them where you need to store them inside your vehicle. Another thing you might want to have is a set of chains. If you can afford a set of tire chains, get them. If you can't, single strand of a chain that you can wrap around your tire, and I'll show you what I mean when I do the tour, is good if you're going to be in muddy or snowy climates. So think about that. Think about an alternative power source, i.e. an inverter, that you can plug into your cigarette lighter and that has a wall plug on the other end. Those are relatively cheap, about $15–20 at Walmart. Just so for whatever you want, You never know if you're going to need a wall plug, and if your car doesn't already have one, then get one. So if you can. Which brings me to another thing. Spare battery. Alright, I have 2 spare batteries. I have deep cycle spare batteries. Red top. Okay? I know batteries are expensive, so if you can't go out and get a spare one, I understand. However, if your battery is currently about 4 years old, so if you've had your brand new car for 4 years, or you've had your car, you changed your battery out 4 years ago, get a new one anyway, and get a decent one. You're going to pay about $120, $150, $120, $150. But you don't want a bad battery when stuff hits the fan. And of course, if your battery's still good and running, save it, and you got it as a spare. And you never know when you're going to need just a battery to power anything. If you don't know basic electronics, I can't help you. But you can use another 12-volt battery, car battery, to power a lot of things. So get yourself one. Like I said, if you got the money, go for it. And then save your other battery that's still good, and you're good to go. Because batteries could also be used to barter. Actually, a lot of this stuff can. So, like I said, I know the batteries are expensive, but hey, if you need it, you need it. And about 4 years is your average battery life. So if you're still running after 4 years on this single battery, that's good, but change it out, because it can go bad any time. Along with your battery, get new terminals. Get new battery terminal posts. If you have a side post, don't worry about it. If you have a top post battery and it's not like integrated into the wire, again, which I'll show you in the next video, get them, change them out. Do not have crappy battery posts. If you cannot get your battery post tight or loose because it slips and it's such a crap battery post, get new ones. Alright guys, and I'll show you what I mean later. But like I said, if you can't, tighten down your battery post and you try to change your battery out, a lot of times that happens. You've got corrosion on your stuff. It's not worth it, man. A new set of terminal posts run you $3. Go out, don't be cheap. Alright? Because corrosion can build up real fast and they go out real easily. Alright? And if you want to get yourself a good one, some gold-plated ones, those will run you about $10. And you'll never have to worry about them because there's a quality made. Hang on. Sweet. So yeah, terminal posts are big. That's the simplest thing you can do, and the cheapest thing you can do to your car to ensure that you're not going to have to mess around with that stuff. Like I said, all this stuff that if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna show you. I promise. But the batteries and terminal posts, very easy. If you want, even again, if you have the money, go buy another set of battery cables. I've seen it. Again, it's not very common, but it's common enough to where I'm going to mention it. That you'll have a battery post, a battery cable, be cut, catch on something, whatever. Another thing is some of the damn punks out there like to cut your battery cable. And that might happen in a shtf situation, and then you're screwed. Then you got nothing to power your car. You can't start your car. You can't do anything. Battery cable, not too expensive, $7 to $15 usually. So have an extra battery cable. I know that involves running it to your starter and everything, and that could be a problem. But it's good to have the extra wire just in case anyway, because you never know. Along with that, obviously you want some battery cables to jumpstart your battery. And that's another thing. If you have your good battery in the back and your battery dies, maybe you left your lights on or whatever, or your door open, and all of a sudden your car doesn't start, guess what? You can hook that spare battery up to your current battery and jump it. You don't need a jumper box. So, stuff to think about, guys. So, like I said, oh yeah, check this out right here, man. Lucas, you want an oil stabilizer, okay, if you have an old vehicle. Now, there's a lot of argument about this, but the people that don't believe in this stuff don't understand it. Okay, you want to add a quart of this stuff to your oil when you change it. Same thing with your trans. Get the trans stuff. This is what this is trans stuff. Add a quart to your transmission. The people who say that it's bad and it's not necessary don't understand it. It's really thick, so people are like, oh, you can't add that to your, don't add it to your Mercedes, okay? Don't add it to a synthetic oil car. Only add it if you use regular oil, because this stuff is going to stabilize your oil, it's going to clean out your system, and it's going to keep your parts together, all right? What people don't understand is it heats up. It's really thick. And again, the thicker oil, people are like, you can't get through your valve guides and everything. When it heats up, it thins out, but it stays stable, unlike your common motor oil. Okay? It'll stay stable. Your other motor oil breaks down. This stuff does not. Okay? So people who tell you that it's no good for your car, it's useless, it's just a waste of money, I wouldn't listen to them. I know the engineering of this stuff, okay? Good stuff, have a quart, have a big bottle of this stuff, for all I care, because it's cheaper. One of these will run you $10. A quart of these, when you get 5 quarts in one big jug, run you $30. So you're saving yourself $20 if you buy it in bulk, if the big jug, which I have the big jug. So keep that in stock, all right? Lucas, baby. Some of your other stuff, I don't believe in the Slick 50. The stuff that you pay like $30 for one-time use, get out of here with that stuff, okay? Your BG products, they're all right, but Lucas, baby. Mystery Oil is another good one, but I like to use Lucas, and I pay my $11 per oil change to get a quart of that in there, because I'm a strong believer in it. And like I said, with the transmission, it helps the slips. So, hang on. Alright, guys. Well, I got about a minute. If I think of anything else, I'm not going to do another video discussing with you. But anything else that I think of in the meantime, I'll catch you up when I do the tour around the vehicle, show you guys these parts, show you locations, show you general maintenance on your vehicle, all that good stuff. So stay tuned, I guess. That's part 5. I'll probably do 6 parts. Like I said, I'm not going to do it anytime soon, but I'm going to do it soon. Another thing is, guys, I got my tax return money in, finally, so I'm going to be rocking it on hardcore with other preparations, such as gas mask and survival gear and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. Maybe you want my perspective on that. Maybe you don't. If not, your choice, guys. All right, guys, in the meantime, prepper community, Keep making videos, guys. Keep trying to wake people up. All right, guys, the Red Dawn Prepper. I'll see you in a bit.